Hello and welcome to another episode of Replacing My Daughter's Boyfriend Because I Don't Like Him. In today's episode, we're going to replace my daughter's boyfriend because I don't like him.
That's remarkable. Thank you very much.
I have pretty much just summed up the show of parental control.
That's my daughter you're talking about.
The whole goal of the show is that parents pick a date for their son or their daughter because they don't like their current partner. And I'm totally here for it. I love drama, I love tea, I love everything in between.
Bye-bye, loser.
So this is where we're introduced to the two parents. There's Jim, the interior landscape guy.
Hi, I'm Jim, and I own an interior landscaping company.
Which, by the way, he totally looks like he owns an interior landscaping company. Like, let's say I met Jim out in the wild, like maybe at a Pizza Hut or at a Warzone. I would look at him and I would totally think that he is owning a interior landscaping company. He just has that vibe. Anyways, there's Jim, and then there's his wife, Penny, who works with her husband.
And I'm Penny, and I work with my husband.
That could mean a whole lot of things. Like, is she saying that in the same way a person who works with horses says, I work with horses? Like, is she handling Jim? Is she Jim's handler? So, there's Jim, Penny, and then their daughter, Mikey. The three musketeers, as I've always called them. But there's one big problem.
We love Mikey more than anything in this world.
But there's just one big problem.
And try to take a guess as to what the problem is. Just take a little guess.
Her boyfriend is a total scumbag.
So that's the problem right there. What is that? This is what he's doing, I guess. I don't know, you know, whatever.
Her boyfriend is a total scumbag.
Penny says that Mikey's boyfriend's a bit of a scumbag, which, you know, it's kind of an intense word to use. But really, what they're showing us just makes him seem like a loser. Like, I don't see him dance like that and think he's a scumbag. I just think he's a loser, I guess. And also that he has terrible dance moves. Like, that's just awful. And it's kind of cringe. But being cringe doesn't make you a scumbag. It just makes you cringy.
This is Mikey. She's dating Fernando. They've been together for 5 months, and Mikey loves everything about him.
The narrator dude says that Mikey loves everything about Fernando, which means she must not have seen what we saw, and she's better for it.
Hey everybody, I'm Mikey. My boyfriend's name is Fernando. He's cute, fun, and he always cracks me up.
So this is where the premise of the whole show is shown. Jim and Penny picked out 2 blind dates for Mikey, and then Fernando has to watch how the dates go. But now we get to the real juicy tea. The real lemon juice. That's sour. This is where we learn all the core issues that Mikey's parents have with Fernando. And let me tell you, Fernando is a straight up savage.
First of all, Fernando is gross. He likes to lick my daughter like she's a lollipop.
Yep, you heard that right. He likes to lick her like a lollipop. Oh, I can't believe I just said that. I need to cleanse myself.
It's like that boy was raised by wild dogs.
How do you even start doing that? Are you just curious one day what your girlfriend tastes like, and so you lick her? And then even worse, you like it enough to keep doing it. That's just not how I pictured my day would be going right now.
And Fernando's always peeing wherever he wants.
He goes on dumpsters, on cars, pretty much anywhere but the toilet.
There's so much to unpack here. So much. So Fernando pees wherever he wants. Whenever he wants. I'll be the first to admit it's a little bit weird. But my favorite part is how Jim just completely roasts Fernando.
Hey, Fernando, why don't you go in the bathroom and flush yourself?
Hey, Fernando, why don't you just use the bathroom, you stinker? And Penny just totally ate it up. She loved that. That was like the best roast she's ever heard. That's just good roast, Jim. You're a roast master. Roast master.
And Fernando wears his pants so low his is always showing.
It's disgusting. He needs to buy a belt. Hey, Fernando, crack is whack.
I literally can't believe this is real. It's beautiful. I'm tearing up because of it. But now it's time to put Operation Parental Control into action. It's time for Penny and Jim to interview some candidates to possibly be Mikey's boyfriend replacement. And this is quite possibly, in my humble opinion, the worst set of interviews I've ever seen in my life.
Hello. Hi. How are you guys doing today?
How y'all doing?
This guy also brought cookies, and he just catches a stray for no reason.
I made some cookies last night. Interested?
They don't look good at all.
Yeah, fair enough.
It starts off pretty good, pretty normal. They start off by asking the candidates what their jobs are, and they all sound pretty good, pretty normal.
I work in animation. I'm a waiter.
I direct a residence hall at a university here in Los Angeles.
I'm a writer for a hip-hop magazine.
Surf instructor.
But then instead of asking them follow-up questions to gauge the quality of the candidates, they skip all the fluff and have them go straight to singing love songs. As you do in an interview.
If I take your daughter out tonight, Mikey's in my heart. I can't see us apart.
The lickings don't stop. I know you're gonna like it.
Which I'm no love doctor sometimes, but I feel like that's probably not the best way to gauge the quality of a candidate.
All I wanna do today is make your daughter's boyfriend go away.
Also, they're all terrible. What are the odds of them all being this bad? They're bad. Like, there's no way, they just suck.
Climb the beanstalk of love.
Why did Jim look at that guy like that? His singing was not that impressive. But then the next question they ask is, if you could have a superpower, what would it be? And let me tell you, it is amazing.
I don't need superpower. I already have the power to attract women.
The super date man.
I would have the power to keep the ladies coming. All right, yeah.
Did this guy just admit that he doesn't attract any ladies by saying he wishes his superpower was that he attracts ladies?
I would like to read minds, so I could read your mind, so I can nail this interview, so I can date your daughter.
Well, if you could read minds, what am I thinking right now?
I'm thinking you wish you could have hair like this.
I love this part because this guy says if he could hypothetically have a power, hypothetically, it would be that he wants to read someone's minds or be able to read people's minds. But then Jim, for some reason, takes it literally and he's like, if you can read minds, what am I thinking of? Like, no, Jim, he said if he had a power. He didn't say he has that power. I feel like you forgot your own question. And then they have the candidates dance for some reason.
Girl's gonna get it.
Somebody explain that to me, please. Put a comment below and make it make sense. But I guess it works somehow because they narrowed it down to 2 candidates that they want to go on a blind date with Mikey.
I think I like this guy right here.
I like this guy. He's got style.
No, Fernando doesn't stand a chance.
Jim's choice for the blind date was Jared, the surfer dude, which in my humble opinion, I think that's a great choice. And so Jared shows up to the house and meets everybody.
This is Mikey.
Hi.
I consider myself a gentleman, and I was raised in a house of all girls, so I definitely know how to treat a lady.
And just for your information, that's Fernando.
I love that he says that because it just seems kind of obvious. Just for your information, FYI, the guy sitting next to Mikey is her boyfriend. I would have never guessed. And there's already tension between Jared and Fernando.
When I first saw Jared, I thought this kid had a better shot of getting me pregnant than stealing my girlfriend.
What a weird insult, but okay. And now it's time for Jared and Mikey to go on that blind date while Fernando watches.
You a little sad about not seeing our daughter anymore?
I'm sad I have to sit in this living room with you.
Jared and Mikey head off to the ice rink while Fernando, Penny, and Jim watch, and for some reason, Penny is sitting right next to Fernando, all up in his business.
While mom, dad, and boyfriend Fernando get to watch the action right from their living room.
And it's also funny because this whole time, Fernando and Mikey's parents are just saying the most out-of-pocket things to each other for no reason.
That's something I've never seen before.
You know what else you haven't seen? Your toes.
Jared and Mikey make it to the ice rink, and at one point Jared holds Mikey's hand, but then we realize they're not actually ice skating. They're doing some weird thing that Jared and his friend came up with called power skiing. And honestly, I'm not sure why Jared thought this was a good idea because Mikey straight up gets thrown all over the place. When they're finished power skiing, Mikey looks like she just got out of a war zone. And then Jared suggests that they get hot chocolate. But before they leave, Jared pulls possibly the smoothest move in all of human history.
Oh, you have your tongue pierced?
Yeah.
Me too.
That's what your mom said.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow, is that real silver? Let me see it again. Well, there's always a way to tell. Let me show you.
What the
And it's so funny to me that Fernando and Mikey's parents are just watching all of this, like every moment they see. And does Mikey know that? Does she know that they're watching? Because she's acting kind of wild if she does. And if she does know, she straight up doesn't care.
So I had a really good time on our date.
So did I.
And now it's time for Mikey's second date with a dude named Matt. But before Matt shows up, I witnessed what I can only describe as an abomination.
boring.
You're such a jerk.
This is not being a jerk. I can be a jerk.
Oh my.
Why? What was the reason for that? There was none. There was no reason. Like, out of everything he could have possibly done, why did he do that? I can think of at least 100 things he could have done before doing that. One of them being not that. Well, all of them aren't that, but... Anyways, Matt arrives and he looks peak 2000s. And I mean peak 2000s.
Hi, Matt. Come on in.
And I can't believe he's real. I really can't. His outfit is just so Wow.
My first impression of Matt is he has crazy style. I know we're gonna have fun.
But Mikey liked it, and I guess that's all that matters. So now Matt and Mikey go on their date, and I don't even know how to prepare you for what's coming up. You can't be prepared. This whole date feels like a fever dream to me.
He's gonna get his hair done with her at the dog groomers.
Please.
Matt and Mikey end up going to this expensive restaurant. Matt starts asking about Fernando, and then he tells Mikey that he's gonna pay, but for some reason he looks really uneasy, kind of looks a little like uncomfortable with saying that.
I got this, no worries.
Okay, good. I'm not used to it. I'm normally paying.
Oh, really? Why are you normally paying?
My boyfriend doesn't have a job.
Really? Wow.
And I want you to keep that in mind because I'm gonna come back to that in a little bit. But anyways, at some point, Matt and Mikey play Truth or Dare, per Matt's request, which is such a random thing to do on the first date. And Fernando also doesn't like that.
Truth or dare? I dare him to shut the up.
But their game of Truth or Dare just starts off weird.
Truth or dare?
Truth.
What's the most naughty thing you've done in public?
Probably when I cheated on Fernando.
She has to know Fernando and her parents are watching, right? Like, she has to know that. It seems obvious that they'd be watching, but I guess Mikey's just a straight up savage. But now it's Mikey's turn, and she dares Matt to do literally the most cringe thing ever. And then Matt somehow makes it even worse.
Okay, I dare you to show your kissing technique with my hand.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just want to kiss you. I've been looking at you all night. Like, is that okay? So I can help it more. Mwah. Oh yeah, baby. Mwah. You know you like that.
That's awful. I'm sorry you had to see this, but we're in this together. So they finish up their game of Truth or Dare, and Matt suggests that they get tattoos. And remember earlier when I said Matt seemed uneasy and uncomfortable about paying? Well, I think he's broke because I'm pretty sure they left without paying. They just got up and walked out.
Yeah.
Want to get out of here?
Yeah.
All right, let's go get this.
You guys saw that, right? Like, they didn't even finish eating. They just got up and left. It actually looks like they didn't eat anything. And I also don't see a check. Did they have the chef cook the food? And not only did they not eat the food, but then they left without paying. Was that Matt's plan all along? Did he ever plan on paying? This is such a chaotic date. So Matt and Mikey go to the tattoo shop, and Matt gets a diamond on his chest, and Mikey gets the words survival of the fittest on her back, and her parents don't approve of it. And overall, I'm just really confused.
Oh my God. That can't be real.
Oh, God.
I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do to her.
And then Matt, being Matt, doubles down on the cringe and writes I heart Matt on Mikey's shoulder.
Fernando will love this. I heart Matt.
But now it's time for the big decision. Does Mikey stay with Fernando, or does she choose Jared the surfer guy, or Matt the cringe guy? And this part of the show is as confusing as the rest. So the first thing that happens is they line all three dudes up, and Mikey wants them to give each a reason why she should choose them. All the answers suck, but Matt's is adequate.
You should pick me because I think we would look amazing together.
Jared's answer is okay.
Mikey, I'm the guy for you because I could show you the wilder side of life.
And Fernando's answer just is awful and terrible.
We should stay together. Because these two guys are...
So obviously she's gonna eliminate Fernando, right?
Jared, you're really sweet, but I think you're too shy for me. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
She eliminates Jared. Like, why? How did Fernando survive that? But maybe it's good, because after Jared got eliminated, he turns into a straight up savage.
Good, I didn't want to date a butterface anyways.
Also, she eliminated him because she said he was shy.
You're really sweet, but I think you're too shy for me.
But he literally did that weird tongue thing. That is the opposite of shy. Jared in no way, shape, or form is shy. And I disagree with you wholeheartedly on that, Mikey. I think you're wrong. But now it's between Matt and Fernando. And who will she pick? She says that Matt's a little too wild, and then she pretty much says that Fernando just sucks. And now it's time for the big decision. Who will she pick?
So I've made my decision, and the guy I choose is... Matt.
This is such a night.
She picked Matt. And honestly, I can't say I'm surprised. It was between Matt and Fernando. But even more honestly, the show is just so random and weird and confusing and makes zero sense. There were so many moments I was like, this just doesn't add up. Like, I'm at a point where I'm almost certain this has to be acting. Like, it has to be, right? Some of this is just so crazy. Everything about the show is just absurd. From like the things they say, to the things they do, to even the people in it, it's just insane. And also, somehow Matt, being as cringe as he was, came out on top. Like, how does that happen? And then Fernando pees on a tree. But I guess we all learned a valuable lesson through this. I'm still trying to learn what that lesson is, but we learned it, I think, maybe. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.